Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
Well, I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, not quite ready for how goofy that Stuart Wellington name was.
This, of course, is the Flophouse podcast.
It sure is.
Every other week, we, of course, I don't know why I keep saying of course, as if you all know. Probably you do if you're listening. We watch a bad movie and then we talk about it. But then in the alternate weeks, we have what we call the Flophouse Mini, which is a more freestyle thing led by one of us.
And there's an alternate universe where we host the Glophouse, where we're just glorifying the interstellar conqueror Glop, who has taken control of Earth, and we are just trying to stay on his good side so we don't get put into the Florglizer, of course, the worst punishment of all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How are you aware of what's going on in this alternate universe? Did you?
I have a pen pal there.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm part of the cult that believes that being put inside the floor Pfizer is the ultimate form of worship of Glorp, but that's me.
That's very popular. That's not how any of that is pronounced, but you did a great. but it's true that the perspective does exist. Yeah.
Hey, so this is
the
my
thing
mini.
I just made up. That's not the correct way of saying it, but.
This is my mini, and I'll just roll right into it. I'll say this.
Dan, don't be apologetic about the mini we haven't even heard yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you hear it. Things have been pretty bad in the world recently.
You're like maybe when you hear it. There's a lot of shit on it, a lot of shitty movies. What about shit in movies? Let's talk about defecate on screen. Dan, this is not a good idea. Anyway, you're saying. Continue.
Let's get fecal with it. No. Things have been pretty bad.
In this game entitled "Girls on Filth," and then you play the Duran Duran song "Girls on Film," but you've added the word "filth" into it.
Filth. No. Things have been pretty bad in the world lately. I don't think I'm
how so?
breaking
name one thing.
New ground and pointing this out. So I wanted to take this mini to do a little mental health check-in with my friends. Now, before we start, I do want to say...
Dangerous thing to suggest.
I do want to say that while I'm being a little silly by making this the premise of our mini, and I hope that we will have some laughs like we always do, I'm in no way making fun of the idea of a mental health check-in or anyone struggling. I take mental health seriously. I hope that hearing us talk will be helpful and make people feel less alone. And if anyone, of course, is really wrestling with sadness about the world, reach out to loved ones. But... just because I think it's easily misunderstood that I'm taking this lightly, but I'm not trying to do that. I've got a few questions here, and while there will be some comedy, I hope there'll be truth. It'll be nice to go through them together. I found these 10 suggested check-in questions online at Mental Health America. And so, number one...
Wait, Dan, I just want to double-check. I suddenly surged with hope. These are check-in questions, or could they be chicken questions? Because I'd love to answer some questions about chicken. You could make them into a chicken
question. I think that one of them probably might involve chicken. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds great.
What is Camilla? I know this one.
No, the first question is, how are you feeling today?
The Queen Consort of England, I think.
Yeah, she's right. And Gonzo's the other is the king consort, right?
Something like that.
I'm king consort. I'm going to rampage through New York.
Or we could talk about the promised consort, Rodan, of course. But we'll talk about him.
Rodan?
Don't even know what that is. Yeah, Rodan. I'm familiar with both the sculpture and the monster. Yeah.
Question number one. It
might have been the same, but how did he sculpt with those little claws on his wings?
That's why he's so good.
Yeah. I've told the story before, right, about when I was a kid, I loved that movie Rodan. And the one time I wanted my parents to get it for me from the video store, as they usually did, and it was not in stock. And so my dad brought me back instead Condor Man, the movie about the guy who was trying to be a superhero, because he's like, well, it's about a flying thing, and it did not scratch the same itch as Rodan.
How did you like
Grandma didn't understand.
Rodan to Perdition?
I thought it was a little too grim.
Okay.
A little too gray. Need a little bit of bright colors, There were very few characters in it were eaten by giant bugs, so, that was a problem, yeah.
But that Conrad Hall cinematography, chef's
beautiful.
kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Question
Cook.
number one.
Captain Cook.
And I'll jump I'll jump in on some of these. Well, how are you feeling today, really, physically and mentally? How are you feeling today, really?
Physically, I twisted my ankle 2 days ago, stepping in a pothole because I couldn't go directly to the street when I parked because there was a wall of snow. And that I was on my way to the gym already, and I was doing an upper body day, so I'm like, I'm just going to do it anyway. But then I could feel the adrenaline wearing off, and my ankle started to swell in my high top, so I'm like, fuck this. And since it's my birthday month, I've been like working out a little bit more than normal because, I'm trying to
present to yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some way to stem the inevitable oncoming tide of time. And so let's see. So that makes me. I've had to skip some of my workouts this weekend, but I should be okay. It's starting to feel better. I took it easy. I listened to my body. But I don't know. I'm feeling a little depressed. Probably a little more than normal. Also, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I feel like that kind of those holidays I find always a little bit depressing. I think I associate them with a feeling that I should have. With a lot of big holidays, I feel like I've been sold a feeling that I should experience or aspire to that I don't quite reach, and I feel the holiday is somewhat alienating.
Elliot?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Okay.
No, just kidding. I have my ups and downs. But this weekend when we're recording this, I happen to be in a better place than I have been at other times. So so it could be worse. I've been my job requires me to sit in front of a computer for long periods of time, and so I can feel my body turning into like an amorphous blob. But at the same time, my younger son is forcing me to get on the trampoline with him a lot, and so that's been giving me some activity. So that's good.
Yeah, you should start doing some like tramp tricks.
I do tramp tricks. I trick tramps. Like hobos will come by, and then I'll say, "I'll give you a pie if you paint my fence." And then when they come to get the pie, I'll just lock the door and I say, "Sorry, thanks for painting my fence." Yeah.
But you give them a book of stamps, and you're like, here's some tramp stamps. And you go, ha, 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 that's my little joke. And then you close the door.
Then I close the door. And so they'll write "Mean Man lives here" on the post, but it's just in chalk. You can erase that.
Yeah, it's hobo code.
Yeah.
The
Hobro code. Actually, it's the Hobro code, which is like the Hobo code, but for bros,
Yeah. So it's like Monster Energy drink available here.
Yeah. But I got, you got to bros before hobos. That's just the way it goes, Gotta.
And me, my physical and mental, I think, are tied in together. I woke up very tired today and just had a hard time getting going. And I was not, for that reason, looking forward to doing the podcast just because it was a thing to do. I was in the mood where, like, I don't want to do a thing. And but now, as always, once I see you guys, it cheers me up. I'm doing okay. On Friday, I had to go out to do a bunch of I had to go to a doctor's appointment. I had to go right. I had to meet someone, and just being out in the world filled me with rage, in a senseless way, where I was just mad at people that were just living their lives.
Dan, you're gonna make such a great elderly shut-in someday.
Yeah,
it's gonna feel so natural. It's gonna feel so good. Yeah.
Hey, number 2, what's taking up most of your headspace right now?
Work on my part, and I feel conflicted by that because I am very busy with work, and I've been working a lot of late nights, and it means that I often have to figure out how to balance time with my family with time trying to get the work I have done. But at the same time, I feel guilty about feeling unhappy about that because so many of my friends and colleagues are out of work right now. And it certainly feels churlish to complain about having something that provides a regular income when so many people I know are not fortunate enough to be in that situation. So I have the worst of both worlds, which is the stress of one thing and the guilt of having that stress. But I'm trying to be less emotionally connected to my work in some ways. And I think that's been helping me somewhat. But it still takes up far more of my mental space than I'd like it to be. And then the rest is just assorted family things, fear of the world that we live in, that kind of stuff, dread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and not the cool Dredd who's judge, jury, and executioner, like the bad Dredd. Yeah,
he is pretty cool.
Yeah, the bad Dredd, which I guess would be Judge Death.
Yeah, Judge Death. Yeah, not Judge Doom though. He's cool.
Oh no, he's great. Yeah, he's finally because he's finally getting rid of those damn tunes, so we can build that freeway.
I hate to
But
tell
when
you
you take
guys.
the streetcar for a nickel.
I hate to tell you guys, he's also a tune.
Wait, what?
What?
I know it's crazy, right?
No, but he's one of the good
I
ones.
thought he
There's
just
good
had
tunes.
an eye infection.
Yeah, turns his eyes into daggers. So
That represents the sharp pain of the infection. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's been taking up most of my headspace? Just Warhammer stuff. I'm like, which guy's the best battler guy? Now, I would say one of the things as a small business owner, I don't really have a
You're a business owner of normal size. You're not a
Yes.
small man. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've been trying to trim down, Elliot, for my birthday. So, running a couple of businesses, I don't have a boss, and I very rarely have. While I have a lot of things scheduled, I rarely have like long periods of time. I don't usually work shifts places, so I'm usually not required to be in a space for from one time to another time. So I have a lot of different things in my calendar that can all be shifted around, but they all still need to be done. And it takes a weird amount of time to keep all those balls in the air and to keep all those things in for the forefront of my head. And I should be using a scheduling thing more often, but I find that is a habit that I'm not very good at maintaining, even though I've done it consistently in the past, just not kind of since I've had a much more loose life schedule. So I find that a lot of my time is spent coordinating and also doing a lot of maintenance and support for my wife, who has been working extra hard since she has a even newer, more complicated business to run with Jiggle Studio, her gym, which is a completely new business for her, and it is requiring more energy in different ways than we were expecting because we are coming from a background of running bars.
It's you talk about the difficulties sometimes of being your own boss. It's like some of that goes into what's occupying my headspace. Like, because I've had a boss and I've had no boss, and overall, I do think I would prefer no boss. But there's a beauty in having a boss who tells you what your priorities are, especially as someone who has a hard time organizing his priorities. And one thing that was occupying my headspace a lot was writing this comedy script I was trying to write. And in the absence of a boss, I actually asked Elliot to be my fake boss and assign me a deadline.
Which I did. And you met it just barely.
It was a psychological process to trick myself into doing a thing I wanted to do. And now, like, that's out of my head. I signed up for this Flash screenwriting competition where, like, you get not to make the next Flash movie, Elliot. I can see the idea of formulating in your brain, but no, it's like you get like a week to write the first like script, and it's like a 10-page. It's like for a short, based on some randomized suggestions, and then if you are in the finalists or whatever, you go on to do scripts in a couple of shorter different spans of time. And it's just a thing. Like, I don't think anything will come of it, like, career-wise. It's a thing that Audrey saw that I signed up for like a challenge, just a thing to, like, work a different muscle.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to come up. But right now, I'm just here with you guys. I'm present, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice.
I'm all about working muscles.
Now, your cat muscles? Is that what you're...
Yeah, my cat muscles. I like working him. He doesn't always get along, and he doesn't take direction very well.
Now, to call back, here's where Chicken may enter the chat. Who knows? The question is, what was your last full meal?
Oh, Chicken has entered the chat.
What was your last full meal, and have you been drinking enough water?
I'm sure I have not been drinking enough water. I know this because I recently experienced a very painful kidney stone that I did not enjoy at all. I usually
hear they're like super fun.
This one in particular, yeah, usually they're pretty great. It's like a little roller coaster ride. But this one I give 0 stars to, so I need to drink more water. I've been trying to, but not enough. I can tell from the dryness of my lips as I speak that I have not had enough water today. My last full meal, though, we're reporting this the day after Valentine's Day. And, of course, my wife cooked my favorite thing for her to make, which is a roast chicken. And so that was my last
There
full
we go.
meal was roast chicken. She does it the
Happened.
best. My wife she roasts the best chicken that ever existed. And
Camilla's
just-
pointing to herself on the television right now because the chicken was mentioned.
Yeah, and that's great. That was the perfect thing. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly how one of the ways that she shows her love for me is by taking a chicken's corpse and it's subjecting it to intense heat.
Grisly love language.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuart, what was your last meal, and have you been having enough water?
I think I drink enough water. I do drink a lot of water. I probably drink too much coffee, but that's something else entirely. Let's see. We're recording this at we started at noon, so my last full meal was breakfast. I had what I always have, what I make every day for myself, which is a big old mess of scrambled eggs with hot sauce, toast, sliced pineapple, and coffee with oat milk.
Now, unless I'm getting my guesses wrong, those eggs probably came from a chicken. Am I right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, he wasn't having quail's eggs this morning.
No, you didn't go out to and
Peacock
collect
eggs.
some platypus eggs and roast them up. Yeah, or scramble them up.
Yeah. Well, I
wonder what those taste like. Platypus eggs.
I don't know. They're pretty small. I don't know that there's a lot in them. I'm going to look it up. While you talk, Dan, I'm going to look up platypus egg taste.
Taste good? Question mark. I had.
They're described as having an oily, slightly salty taste, reminiscent of a mix between red herring and wild duck. Oh, okay, could
That's
be.
actually okay.
Turned it around at the end there.
Oh, they always contain an embryo.
Okay, that's a deal breaker, I think.
No, I'm down. I'll try it.
I had some leftovers of this sort of a Middle Eastern spiced lentil sort of mush that got put into some pitas and fried. It's more tasty than it sounds. And as to the water question, I don't know. Like my doctor actually told me that some of the small things that had been bothering me might be just dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, and so I've just started getting some low sodium electrolyte powder that I'm drinking with water. I hope that it might.
Why don't you just drink a bunch of Gatorade?
I think the answer to your question is embedded in the question. Here's a question. In fact, it's question number 4. How have you been sleeping?
I'm guessing Elliot doesn't sleep at all.
I don't sleep as much as I would like. I don't sleep great. My children have a habit of I live in a house of people who don't sleep well, and my children have a habit of getting up in the middle of the night just to tell us they're not sleeping well, and there's nothing we can do about it. But it does wake us up, so there's that. I usually get not enough sleep, and the sleep quality is not great. So I am, constantly living on the edge of exhaustion, which is not wonderful, which is not a great way to live. So
No,
I would call
it's
that.
not. I'll agree with you.
I would say the only thing that really is Dan, is it time for me to segue into the ad for this mini or no?
Not. Well, I mean, you can, I guess, if you want to, but we haven't fully answered this question as I go around.
Let's finish
I think
it, and then because the ad is sleep related, and it is the one saving grace of my sleep.
That's
we'll
true.
get to that. Yeah.
Stuart, what have you been sleeping?
I've been sleeping okay. I pretty regularly have a low dosage weed gummy before bed or a weed chocolate. And that helps me kind of drift off. And I guess it also helps that my wife has recently started muting her phone, turning notifications off or whatever, which is great. She has it set on do not disturb so that if somebody calls twice, it'll actually go off, but otherwise it won't go off. And all of our staff know that to call twice because she was getting the bar staff group chats would be somebody would find a fucking butt plug or something, and then everybody would be making jokes about the butt plug they found, and then that would just keep us up all night. because she'd stick the phone under her pillow because she's like listening to her book on tape while she drifts off to sleep. So the phone's right there.
No, that
so it's like
answers that
going
question.
bonkers and waking me up. And then the other thing is I've been getting stricter about locking my cat Muscles out of the bedroom because starting at like 6 a.m., he climbs on my chest and he hammers his face into my chin and he meows until I get up to feed him. And then at 8 o'clock, if I go after he's done eating, he'll do it again because I'm in the bed and he wants me to get out of the bed so he can be in the bed. And it's just a real mess.
Yeah. I was having really, really bad sleep for a while. But I was getting these muscle aches from joint stress. But as I've had more yoga, stretching and building muscle at the same time, and as I've dropped a few pounds recently, my sleep's been getting better. Although my sleep window is shifting to old person window, like going to bed earlier and then being awake, often as early as 5:30.
That's crazy.
Sometimes I usually make it to like 7, but like I have taken to sort of enjoying being up and awake before the house is up and awake. I mean, it's just Audrey and the cats, but I get that time then to like go out and read for a while, which starts my day off on a more peaceful note than otherwise, especially because I've like made it as hard as possible to read any social media, because if I see anything online these days, it ruins my whole day. So
first thing I do when I wake up, in addition to stretching, and I usually get up before Charlene does, I'll get up and I'll stretch and drink my green juice, and I'll do the New York Times crossword for the day, and then I'll share my score with the Podcaster Puzz Club group chat that we got going for the podcast nerds who are also doing the New York Times crossword. I am not the fastest in that group.
But as Elliot teased before, let's take a brief ad break, because one of the things that helps my mental health is knowing that I can pay my bills. So, Elliot, I believe we have a sponsor.
We do have a sponsor, and I mentioned that I have some sleep issues. My kids have trouble sleeping through the night often and wake me up, and I don't get enough sleep just because I don't go to bed early enough, and I have to wake up early in the morning. But one thing that is not getting in the way of my sleep is my mattress. Why? Because I've got a Lisa mattress. That's right. I think I've told a little bit of the story of the Lisa mattress that we had before. It was brought. My kids both wanted it on their beds, and I said no. Eventually, no, I'm going to use it. And I'll tell you what, it's a great mattress. And if I had the hours to actually sleep on it the way I should, I would be sleeping in sleepful bliss, like floating on a cloud. Because sleeping on a Lisa mattress, it's like you're sleeping on a mattress that was designed exactly for you. It moves the way I move. It's like I have my own Jaeger partner, or whatever they're called in Pacific Rim.
That's what they call them. Yeah, Jaeger partners.
It's like the mattress and I are merging and melding in a way that is not gross and Cronenbergy, but instead really comfortable and really relaxing to sleep. Lisa, it's just a good mattress. It has a lineup of beautifully crafted mattresses tailored to how you sleep. If you roll one way, you roll another way. Sleep on your belly, sleep on your side, sleep on your back. Lisa knows how to do it. Each mattress designed with specific sleep positions and feel preferences in mind. And shouldn't we all look for the feel preferences that we prefer? From night one, you'll feel the difference. Premium materials deliver serious comfort and full body support no matter how you sleep. It isn't just about sleep. It's also about impact, though. Lisa donates thousands of mattresses each year to those in need, while also partnering with organizations like Clean Hub to help remove harmful plastic waste from our oceans. So it's not just about giving you the night you deserve. It's about giving us all the world we deserve. So I can't recommend this mattress enough. It's a really solid mattress, and I mean that not in the way of physically like it's too solid. What I mean is that solid in terms of like high quality, high class, good mattress. Go to Lisa.com. That's LEESA.com for 20% off, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code FLOP. That's exclusive for our listeners. If you don't listen to our podcast, you do not get that promo code. It's just not going to happen. That's LEESA.com, promo code FLOP for 20% off, plus an extra $50 off. Support our show. Let them know we sent you after checkout. Lisa.com, promo code FLOP. And I'll just tell you again, genuinely, it's a really good mattress. It's just like they are paying us to put this ad on, but it is a good mattress. I'm very happy with it.
Hi, Hi there. Sorry to interrupt your podcast listening time. I know you're doing the dishes right now. That's okay. Don't worry about it. You might not know me, but I'm Brenda, and I'm here to tell you about the podcast I host with my good friend Austin. It's called Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries, and we cover all kinds of pop culture topics. Like, did you know that there was a real-life replica of the Simpsons house in Las Vegas, Nevada? Or that Flint, Michigan was once home to an indoor amusement park themed around the automobile? If those things sound interesting, you should definitely check us out every Tuesday on Maximum Fun, or wherever you get podcasts. Goodbye. You can get back to your dishes now. It's fine.
The wizards answer 8 by 8. The conclaves call to demonstrate their arcane gift, their single spell. They number 64 until a conflagration. 63 and 62 they soon shall be, as one by one the wizards die, till one remains to reign on high.
Join us for Taz Royale, an Oops All Wizards Battle Royale season of the Adventure Zone, every other Thursday on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, back to the questions. Question 5. This is Stuart will enjoy this.
Uh-oh.
What have you been doing for exercise?
Who's the strongest Warhammer battler?
No, that's a complicated question. It's probably Rabute Guillemon.
Robert Guillaume.
I never know, when you're answering Warhammer stuff, I never know if you're just making it up off the top of your head or if it's real stuff.
It might be Angron.
No, the question is, what have you been doing for exercise?
Oh. In my case, unfortunately, very little. Again, like I said, I have very little time to do it. So if there's a day where I can walk around the block twice, that's a solid day. And lately, like I said, my younger son has been making me go on the trampoline with him. That's been better for me, but I really need to get more exercise in. I bought a stationary bicycle. I was using that for a while. Then one of the pedals fell off, and I have not been able to reattach it properly. And so that it really got in the way of my using it regularly. So I'm either going to have to cut off one of my own legs to make it a little easier or find something else to do. Stuart, you seem like a guy who works out. What do you do?
Oh, yeah, I do sometimes. So for exercise, I obviously stretch for at least 30 minutes every morning and 4 days a week.
30 minutes of stretching?
Yeah.
That's a lot of stretching. Wow.
Okay. I mean, you should be doing that too. And I go to the gym and do weight training 4 days a week. I do a upper lower split. So two days a week, I'm doing upper push pull upper body exercises. The other 2 days I do lower body with some like compound core strengthening stuff. And then I also up until my recent ankle injury, I was doing 30 minutes a day on the treadmill as well, which also doubles as a good time for me to watch some TV because we have a treadmill in the bedroom and I can get through my stories while on the treadmill. And you know what went well with treadmill time? Heated rivalry. Very propulsive.
I mentioned yoga. I do that twice a week for an hour. But I also just recently I realized I needed some cardio exercise. And I bought these ropeless jump rope things.
Jump rope's fucking brutal.
Well, like I'm very easily influenced when it comes to things that might improve my life, but would require me to have a lot of self-discipline. So we'll see if I keep at it. But like, I think I read some article about how good jump roping was for you. But like I live here in New York. Like there's not room like within my house to jump rope really without hitting something. And if I went outside right now, I'd fall down on the ice. So what I got were these ropeless jump ropes that look like basically a Morning Star, like a Nerf Morning Star without spikes on it.
It's pretty cool.
Like there's one for each hand because the ball at the end of like the short cord is to give it weight so it will like swivel around in your hand like a jump rope. And so you use it like a jump rope, but you're not jumping anything. You're sort of just imagining where the rope would be
Yeah.
as it swings around.
I guess that makes like double Dutch pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's all pretty easy. I did not fall over the rope once, Stuart. You'd be proud of me.
I mean, the fact that there's no rope only slightly decreases my being impressed at that. You know?
Years ago, I borrowed a jump rope from a friend, and I was doing it in my kitchen because I had high ceilings. This was a much different apartment, but it also helped that I was on the ground floor, so I wasn't annoying the shit out of the person below me.
Yeah, I specifically was like, okay, where can I do this where I am going to be quiet and I leap with the smallest amount of thumping? But anyway, question 6. What did you do today that made you feel good?
I recorded this podcast with you guys.
Fuck, you stole mine, you bitch.
Wow.
In the game of friendship, I just won.
I'm going to cheat slightly because I'm going to do, so on Friday, I was having a rough day. I twisted my ankle, and that kind of made me reevaluate what I was going to be spending my weekend doing. And I had to spend a lot of my time like icing it or seated or keeping it elevated. And I did do my hobby stream, which was nice. But the thing that I had to make a point to not only take a shower later that day, but also to, like make sure I shave, do a full skincare routine, put on a mud mask, do all the things that are self-care elements that I know I don't know about you guys, but when I'm feeling down, it's really easy to fall into a state of disrepair so that your exterior matches your interior and you're like scruffy and look like shit. And I'm like,
I call that adulthood. Yeah.
And I'm like, how can if I show myself the same level of care, maybe that will brighten my spirits a little bit. And I think it helped a little.
I guess I have that. Like, I don't do it to the same extent. For me, it's like, during lockdown, I showered and I put on actual clothes rather than, wandering around the house in my bedclothes because I knew that would make me feel better. Whereas what made Audrey feel better is like, cool, a chance to wander around my house in my bedclothes all the time. So, everyone in life is different. What did I do today? I feel like between ADHD and having a lot of internal shame, I often feel like if I'm not getting all of the things I could do in a day done that might be like helpful or like feel like work or chores or, something that's like if I don't get to it all, I feel bad about myself for reasons that are entirely self-imposed. So this morning, what I did for myself was I was tired and I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, nothing I have to do before taping is particularly important. I don't have to get to it right now. What I feel like is sitting around. So I did that instead.
How do you feel about that, Elliot? Dan got to sit around.
I mean, I certainly I've been trying to do that more myself, to be honest. Like my go-to feeling in my head, if I have any moment where I'm not actively doing something, is to be like, well, what work can I be getting done right now?
Yeah.
And every now and then I go like, no, maybe I'll just read a couple pages of a book. That'll be good. I mean, I don't do what Dan does, which is literally just sit and stare into space, drool falling out of my mouth.
I mean, sit around was like just kind of a general blanket term for.
You're right. I'm sorry. With Dan, it's more like, what Italian exploitation film can I watch right now?
Here's a question. What's something you could do today that would be good for you? Stopping these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stump Central.
I'll give you a little time and say that, like, I keep thinking, like, oh, I should get back to one of these books I'm reading because I've I've returned to reading in a big way after, like, I think lockdown kind of screwed my head for a while and I couldn't concentrate on it. And now I've been tearing through the books and it's making me feel better to have like a single thing to concentrate on rather than being distracted by all the millions of things in life.
I actually found that I started reading more when I accepted that I needed reading glasses because I was like not enjoying reading because it hurt or I like had trouble focusing on the words. I'm like, maybe it's just too dark in here or something. And then I realized, oh no, I need reading glasses. I feel like what I would like to do is do a little bit of shoveling in the backyard of the bar because snow's finally starting to melt, and on Friday somebody had just the back door of the bar had been kind of like frozen shut. There was like a big block of snow and ice that had kind of formed there. And some guy just kind of shoved the door open, which knocked the closing device loose. And I feel like it's kind of treacherous back there, and it will make me feel better to know that it's less treacherous. A big part of owning a bar is knowing that you have a thing that people are going to be inside and getting drunk in, and that at any one time somebody could do the dumbest possible thing, and you would have to worry about it. And so there's always this like low-level stress simmering.
I think I should take a walk today.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll see if I get to it.
You know, you can give it a shot.
And I'm walking in Memphis.
No, he lives in L.A.
Yeah. But I could walk in Memphis if I needed to. You're saying I can't? What, I'm not good enough to walk in Memphis?
You can do whatever you dream of.
You should get one of those VR headsets so you can go walking in Memphis.
Finally.
Why did you create this realistic VR? What was your impetus?
Well, I really want to go walking in Memphis. I believe, Stuart, could you say it the right way?
And I'm walking in Memphis.
What's something you're looking forward to in the next few days? You guys got to have something. Come on.
What am
Yeah, I
looking
do.
forward to in the next few days.
You guys are making me sad.
No, I got this.
What's going on in life?
On Thursday night, I think I'm going to a screening of American Cyborg Steel Warrior at the Ridiculous
you got a
Sublime.
ticket?
I haven't gotten a ticket, but there were plenty of tickets left.
Okay, cool. Because that was actually one of the two things I was going to mention, that there's a new Ridiculous Sublime, the series that we've talked about a lot here that happens at Nighthawk. And yeah, it's always a good time.
Yep.
Doing that on Thursday, going out to dinner with Audrey on Wednesday. That's what I got on the calendar.
I'm going to go next weekend. I'm going out with my wife to the theater and to dinner. So, to a legitimate theater. Not to a movie.
Oh,
to a play.
Not the Burlicue? Burlesque.
Not the what? Oh, yeah. We're going to the Burley. Yeah, no.
We did have a burlesque. We had a burlesque show at our bar Minis a couple weeks ago to celebrate the end of Wet January, which was a promotion we did where we encouraged people to drink. And they would get these little punch cards, and they would get stickers every time they attended somebody's shift and spent a minimum amount of money, kind of like the old Book It event, where if you got enough stickers, you'd get like a personal pan pizza if you read enough books. Well, instead of reading books, you're getting drunk. And the winner,
this sounds dangerous.
Just as good for you, right? Yeah.
We auctioned off we raffled off a Nintendo Switch 2. It's pretty exciting. But to go along with the party, we were playing Guitar Hero at the bar while the Last Chance Dancers burlesque troupe would do burlesque dance and kind of mess with you trying to play Guitar Hero, which is pretty fun.
Sounds fun. Here's a question number 9. What's something we could do together this week, even if we're apart?
Well, Dan, you and I have been meaning to talk on the telephone.
That's true.
Something we could do. Also, Dan, as mentioned, you sent me a script to read. So I'll read that and I'll give you notes on it. Which
It'll be like we're together.
It'll feel like we're together, and I'm telling you things that...
I won't like them initially, but I will resist my knee-jerk defensive reaction because I'm aware of it, and I will wait a while, and I'll come around to these notes make sense.
Well, and hopefully you'll look at the note behind the note.
Yeah.
Because often in the past, and I'm saying this not only in the tone of gentle ribbing, not as a grievance. There have been times in the past where you've sent me something and I've given you notes and you're like, well, here's why I didn't do it that way. And I'm like, okay, cool. But that'll feel like we're working together, which will be really nice.
Yeah, like back in the old days.
Exactly.
When you were
back
office
in the old
buddies.
country. Yeah.
We never had the same office.
where you guys would share. You would
Well, I guess we were
accidentally
in
eat each
the
other's
same
lunch.
office.
We
or
were
Sure,
in,
not
we
the
worked
same.
in the same office building on
That's
the same
true.
project, and I was your supervisor. And boy, would you give me trouble!
Uh-huh.
Oh
But
boy,
before that, you
Dan was
Daniel, I'd
always
say you
finding
can't
ways
keep
to
saying
take
those things
naps
to
and
the
slack
interns.
off.
That's not true.
No, he was known as a real hellraiser around the office.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. In
He
that
would
he
eat
would, he would show people the thin line between pleasure and pain.
Yeah. And then I stuck pins in my head.
It's the first step. First step for that.
I don't know.
That's really the first step barrier that keeps a lot of people from becoming hellraisers is when they find out about the sticking the pins in your head.
You're like-
yeah.
Any chance I could swap out the pins for CDs?
No, one guy did that. It
Yeah.
was
So-
okay.
There will certainly be podcast maintenance work I will need to do during the week that'll be sort of like being with you guys. Might involve some texting.
This is
I
continuing-
might text you a picture that baffles you.
That baffles me. Where I'm like, what is this? I don't understand. It'll really throw me for a loop.
I feel like
this is just-
might is unfair.
Yeah, I think this is a prophecy that's almost necessarily bound to come
Especially
true.
since I'm in control of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. This is just continuing that Hellraiser talk. Has there ever been an online quiz called "Which Cenobite Are You?" where you can find out if you're Chatterbox,
I don't know.
Butterball.
Google
I'm
it.
Lady Cenobite.
Yeah.
Stuart, I'm just giving you space in case you have an
Oh, in
answer. but
case
you don't.
I came up with something I could do with my boys.
Which
I don't know. It's tough.
Cenobite.
I feel like a lot of our hangouts have been texting about movies or me saying how much Saturday Night Live sucks and Dan being like, I think it sucks too.
Here's
And
a,
Elliot's like, what's Saturday Night Live?
here's a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah, I'm
What
not even
Cenobite
aware
are
that
you?
it exists. Oh, there is one? What Cenobite are you? All right.
Yeah,
Which one are
yeah.
you, Dan?
Well, I haven't.
have to take
I
the whole
haven't taken
quiz.
the quiz yet.
Oh,
That'll take a
that's-
while.
The funny thing
Why
is,
don't you-
none of the questions are even pleasure or pain related. It's all like ice cream and other things.
Yeah.
No, he's taking it fast.
Yeah.
He's hammering it.
You know, like the faster you do it, the more it's like.
Yeah. The more
More
it's
accurate.
more true,
Or certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
You get your
You're not
flash
trying to
answers.
game the system. You're just going with what
You
you're.
can't overthink it, You can't overthink it. Oh,
Which-
if I answer this, is it going to make me seem like more of a CD
butterball,
head,
yeah.
or a butterball, or yeah.
Or that doctor from part 2.
What, I
who's
got
like a weird floating
butterball.
guy. You got
Well, I'm
actually,
Chatterbox.
I mean, that's
It
actually.
says, you are gluttonous, not for simple pleasures such as food or drink, but for pain and punishment. There are no limits to the amount of suffering you can endure or
Yeah.
inflict.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know,
Actually,
except for the
sounds
inflict
pretty
part.
accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, the final question in my check-in mini. What are you grateful for right now?
Chicken mini?
Yeah, your chicken mini.
Yeah. Chicken minis are just nuggets.
Yeah.
What am I grateful for right now?
Yeah.
I've got a lot to be grateful for. I have a wonderful family. I love them very much. I am grateful that I have work that allows me to support them. I'm grateful that that work is doing the kind of craft that I want to be doing, which is writing and especially joke writing. I'm grateful that as terrible as modern times are, that I, by virtue of so many different advantages that I have from before my birth to now, and just the random choices and ways that life can go, that I live in a space that has a certain protective shell around it, where I am not receiving the worst of the things that are happening in the world right now. Although that makes me feel guilty for being unaffected in a real physical reality sense and only an emotional sense by those things. But I have quite a lot to be grateful for. I all the time I think to myself, I don't have to take it for granted that I will go to sleep under a roof tonight. I don't have to take it for granted that when I'm hungry I can eat something, that my children will be, as healthy as modern science can make them, So I have a lot to be grateful for, especially compared to so many others and to my ancestors who could not take those things necessarily for granted so much of the time. So I got a lot to be grateful for. Pretty much everything,
Well, Elliot went like crazy macro vision on that, crazy big picture. I'm going to go simpler. While there's many big picture things, obviously, that I'm grateful for, I think immediately I'm grateful for comfortable sweatshirts and soup and a nice piece of bread.
So except for the sweatshirts, you would be pretty happy living in like 17th century France,
Yes.
Man, that's such a apologies. It's like an old man answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm turning 46 this month, guys.
yeah.
That's an old man answer time.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I guess I'll go wide too. Like like for all that any of these things could change at any moment because that's the uncertain world we live in. I have a roof over my head. I do not want for the basics of survival. I have a loving wife and 2 affectionate cats. And I get to work with my friends who mostly don't get mad at me. And when they do, have an incentive to make up with me.
That's true. That's true. We do have an incentive, a financial incentive for making up with you. Yeah. No, but that's I've been had a number of different occasions recently to be reached out to by people who feel that this podcast in particular does something for them that they need. Makes a difference in their existence and just in making it, even if it's just making it a little more bearable. And I feel very grateful that this thing that we do that is dumb and is fun to do, that it is at least a slightly helpful for other people as well. So I think that's a thing to be grateful for too. We could easily be doing this in a way that is hurtful to other people, or in a way that nobody gives a shit, and it doesn't matter.
Several other podcasts.
see many other podcasts. Yeah. So that's a thing too. I'm grateful that we've been doing this for a long time. I mentioned to someone recently, they're like, "Oh yeah, you do a podcast, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we've been doing it for about 18 years now." And they went, "What?"
They slipped out of the frame.
Yeah, exactly. All I saw was the soles of their feet. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of this mini, guys. Thank you for taking this trip.
I thought it was going to be real dumb and a real waste of my time. But it turned out to be really affirming and really wonderful. So thank you for doing it. Thank you for doing it.
Thanks.
No, I'm just kidding. I did not think that.
Hey, it's a mini, so let's keep the end of the show mini-sized as well. Thank you to our network, Maximum Fun. Go to MaximumFun.org for other shows. Thank you to our producer, Alex Smith. He goes by the name Howell Doughty for his own creative enterprises. Look him up. I have been Dan McCoy.
Yeah, I'm Stuart Wellington.
And I'm grateful to be Elliot Kalin, or am I? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.